Much of Nebraska is pretty cold, but southwestern Nebraska it's pretty warm. Kansas temperatures range from the upper 20s to mid 40s. Yeah, but once I realize once you head west, then it gets really warm, but throughout the rest of the Great Plains, it gets really cold. Missouri, however, temperatures in the northern half of the Missouri River, they're in the teens to low 20s. Southern half, they're in the mid 20s to the mid 40s, where you have 25 in St. Louis, 26 in Jefferson City, 41 in Springfield, and Poplar Bluff, 43. Also, a huge contrast in temperatures. You can see in the southern part of the Show Me State. Now, moving on to the Northern Rockies. This one is quite tricky. Let's just go right here to Glasgow, where it's negative 10 there. Havre 3, Miles City 1, Gwinnett 10, 12 at Great Falls, 14 in Billings. I mean, once you head west, you'll end up in the Rockies part of the state, where ironically it is warm. But however, once you end up on the eastern side, it gets super cold there. All right, I'm back. Let's take a look on the western side of Montana. Temperatures range from the low 30s to mid 40s. Northern Idaho, temperatures are in the 30s to low 40s. Mid 40s to low 50s in the southern half. In Wyoming, temperatures you get 17 in Gillette to 32 in Casper and Cody, 44 in Riverton and Rock Springs, and 46 in Cheyenne. And you go to Colorado, where temperatures you get 35 in Clark to 59 in Denver to 50 in Lamar, 55 in Colorado Springs to 41 in Alamosa, 46 in Grand Junction. Utah, much of the state, temperatures range from 37 in Vernal to 53 in St. George, but the rest of the state, they're in the 40s. That includes 46 in Richfield and Logan, 48 in Salt Lake City. Much of Nevada, temperatures are in the 40s. Southern part, they're in the 50s to low 60s, low to mid 60s. Let's take a look in New Mexico. Temperatures throughout much of the state. You got 43 in Farmington to 68 in Yates, 50 in Gallup and Santa Fe. Roswell is at 59. Carlsbad also 59. 64 in Silver City. In the northern half of Arizona, temperatures range from the mid 40s to upper 50s, 60s to low 70s in the southern part. In the northern coastal part of California, temperatures are in the 50s. Southern part, they're in the 60s. 73 in Mexicali and Indio. Temperatures are in the 40s to low 50s in the Central Valley. Then in Oregon, temperatures are in the 40s to low 50s. Washington State, temperatures range from the mid 30s to low 50s. Now let's take a look at gusts. In the Northeast, much of the gusts, they're in coastal southern New England to eastern Long Island, where they're blowing up to about up to 40 miles an hour in some places, as well as western New York, all the way to eastern West Virginia. The Great Lakes, up to 40 miles an hour in gusts, but on the water, it's a different story, which it's much worse. Many parts of the Rockies, there are some gusts. They're blowing somewhere up to 60 to 70 miles an hour in a few places. All right. Now, let's take a look at the humidity. It is 1:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Welcome to the stream for those of you just tuning in. This is Marlon here. This is the National Weather Discussion of Saturday, December 13th, 2025. How you guys doing? Hope you guys having a good day, or hoping that you guys have better days ahead. For me, it's just Saturday. But, although in my case, the weather is not going to get any better. How do I know? I mean, if you look at the top bar, I mean, right now it is clear, but that's going to change in a matter of moments. 39 degrees. Today, it is expected that there would be some snow showers throughout this weekend with a high of 39 today and a low of 30. Tomorrow, a high of 34 and a low of 21. Cloudy skies on Monday with a high of 30 and a low of 19. Clear skies on Tuesday with a high of 30 and a low of 25. Wednesday, cloudy skies with a high of 37 and a low of 30. Thursday and Friday, there could be some rain on the way, with temperatures ranging from the mid 40s to low 50s for the high, but for the low, both those nights will be at 36 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's take a look at the humidity. There's plenty of dry weather throughout the eastern seaboard, but that's going to change though. It gets worse from places like Duval County, Florida, which is Jacksonville, all the way to the Big Bend area. Plenty of dry weather in much of the west, but plenty of moisture in the Central Valley, Pacific Northwest, and the Western Gulf, and for folks all over the Great Lakes region. Now let's take a look at rainfall accumulation in the next 24 hours. There will be an estimate of up to half an inch of rain from Cape Cod all the way to Washington, D.C. Well, to Baltimore. Hold on a minute, folks. So sorry about that, folks. Background noise can be such a drag at times. I mean, I have no control over things. I mean, that's what happens when I live next to a busy roadway. You know what I mean, folks? Okay, so now where were we? Oh, yeah. From Cape Cod to Philadelphia and Baltimore, there could be an estimate of up to half an inch of rain. And there's also going to be the same story in Pittsburgh to Clarksburg. Around. Sorry, there's just too much distraction that's going on. Some lake effect rain in upstate New York. Might get half an inch of rain. But just so you know, folks, sometimes this is just about as equivalent as, like, let's say, 6 inches of snow there. Hold on a minute. Again. Okay. I think I've already covered much of that. In the south, I don't know. I don't know. There's just a glitch, folks. I don't know why that happened. Yeah, major glitch. No, not really major. South Florida, their rainfall accumulation might end up being between half an inch to a full inch or an inch and a half of rain, as well as for folks in southern Louisiana and east of Houston. From Jackson all the way to Columbia, South Carolina, up to half an inch of rain, and just up to a quarter inch of rain in much of Ohio and a little bit in Indiana, and the edge in some edges of Michigan. Well, some parts of Michigan, I should say, up to a quarter inch of rain will be there in accumulation. And in the Pacific Northwest, they'll end up getting an estimate of up to about half an inch of rain in some places. Now let's take a look at the snowfall totals in the next 24 hours. We do have an estimate of up to 6 inches of snow from Cape Cod all the way to Baltimore, especially throughout much of New Jersey, Long Island, and just up to a foot of snow in some places in northern West Virginia, in places like Clarksburg, and anywhere southeast of Pittsburgh, and as well as for folks located around Lacona, upstate New York, just northeast of Oswego. You have the surrounding areas and other parts of upstate New York. They might get up to 3 inches of snow there. Washington, D.C., they'll get up to 3 inches of snow there, plus Dover and Charleston, West Virginia, Erie, Pennsylvania, Binghamton, New York, and Harrisburg and Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Boston as well, Montpelier, and Augusta, up to an inch or two of snow. In the Ohio Valley, there will be an estimate of between 2 inches to 8 inches or 10 inches of snow. Mostly in Ohio, they'll get up to 10 inches of snow there. From Cleveland all the way to Columbus and Cincinnati, up to 6 inches of snow in Indianapolis, Logansport up to 3, and in east central Illinois, up to 2 inches of snow, as well as for folks in western Michigan, and up to 3 inches of snow throughout much of upper Michigan. And in the northern Cascades, they'll get up to 6 inches of snow there, especially barren Washington State. Alright, just so you know, folks, all of this is just estimates. It doesn't really mean that it'll actually be accurate. Do consult with your local officials and your local weather office, just so that you guys will get actual real-time results of the amount of snow or rain that will occur there, or even freezing rain or sleet. And as well as wind gust, wind speed, and wind direction, for which it is caused by a local factor such as sea breeze, lake breeze, valley breeze, etc. They can alter the direction and speed of winds and wind gusts. Now, what are we doing right now? I'll tell you what we're going to do right now. Let's, okay, so I'm going to set myself up for the temperatures that will occur for tonight. So this is tonight, but we're going to get to that in a few minutes. Right now, this is the upper part of the atmosphere. What we're dealing with is that we do have an upper level low, just located over Lake Superior. And we're going to treat that as a trough. And there's a ridge over Las Vegas, and a trough over the Western Gulf. And a ridge just offshore from Florida and the Bahamas. What does this mean? It means there's moisture moving